everybody, welcome to Saturday's at-home workout presented to you by Progression Fitness. It's Coach Nick here again to take you through our day. Let's go. First things first, it's Grease the Groove. Grease the Groove today, it's your choice. So I want you to pick a movement you're interested in working on. I want you to figure out the right rep range today, something that doesn't leave you dead or tired, that you can repeat for 10 more sets after that, every 30 minutes. Go ahead, take a moment, figure out what movement you'd like to do today. Handstand holds, push-ups, planks, you name it, squats, could be just about anything, double unders, and go ahead and start your first set of Grease the Groove. When we come back, we'll go into our warm-up. So welcome to the warm-up today, friends. Today I'm gonna send you out for the 10 to 15 minutes of cardio, so go ahead, pause the video right now, get outside, go for a jog, walk, or run, whatever you, or bike, whatever you feel like doing today, but again, get warm for those 10 to 15 minutes like we've been doing. See if you can up what you've been doing maybe by 1 minute. So if you've been going for 10 minutes, try to go for 11 today. When you come back, here's what we're gonna do, okay? We're gonna practice the following. So this is gonna tie right into our strength portion today. This is a brand new movement. So make sure you can do this one first. And if you get into our strength portion today and it's not happening or does not feel comfortable or you don't have the right weights, this is actually the movement I want you to continue on with into our strength portion today. So it's just gonna be part of a Turkish get-up plus a press. Okay, and this is like a cool variation of Turkish get-up, like if you were to get injured or like you couldn't stand on a foot or something like that. This might be what you use. You might have seen this on Catalyst Athletics recently. This is where I got it from actually, is Greg Everett and Catalyst Athletics. So credit to those guys. So here's what it is. Again, get up plus press, just watch. And I'll talk a little bit more about it here in just a second. One, two, three. So for most of us today, that might be the most appropriate movement, and that's okay. Again, kind of a fun, different take on a part of the Turkish get-up plus the press. Again, like I said, good alternative if you can't do a full Turkish get-up due to like an ankle or foot injury. Also, it's kind of cool because it puts you at this 3/4 angle with your torso. It's kind of like an incline press. All right, but you're still using your back arm to support your body, which I also think is pretty neat because you're still working on stabilizing that shoulder as well. So go ahead, give this a try in warm-ups today. What I'd like you to work through is at least 3 sets on the left, 3 sets on the right of just doing a get up plus 3 presses, then switch sides, do that half get up, 3 more presses, and so forth, okay? In between sets today, please feel free to throw in like a lunge stretch or some mountain climbers, some jumping jacks, or any kind of cardio work for, 10 to 15 reps. Of something like that, or some stretches for 1 to 2 reps on each side, or whatever the stretch requires. Maybe do a squat hold. Any of that will do, but really focus on dialing in this pressing movement today. Rewatch the video as many times as you need to. Reach out for help from a coach if you need help with this, okay? It's not an easy movement. You definitely need to be comfortable with that first part of the Turkish get-up to get this today, okay? So, with that being said, let's start your warm-up, and we'll meet back for the strength portion. Here we go. All right, friends, welcome back to our strength portion for the warm-up. Hopefully you're feeling warm by this point. Again, I'm gonna review one more time what we did in our warm-up today. Just that half, or that first part of the Turkish get-up plus a press. Then I'm gonna go into the strength portion I have planned for today. Again, if you did not have success in the warm-up, or that was challenging enough, or you just enjoy that more, please stick with that first movement where your hips are sitting on the floor. The next movement becomes a little bit more technical and a lot more advanced. So, first things first, here we go. Let's review one more time the get up plus press. Wonderful. So again, when I start that get up movement, I'm simply starting first by pressing the weight up. Then, first thing I'm going to sit up onto my elbow. I'm gonna sit up more onto my hand, and then I'm at that half Turkish get up position. I refer to it as today. You can refer to it whatever you want. And this is where we ultimately want to get to, right? So from here, I'm set. This is a safe position, so I go on to continue pressing, right? Again, this might be where we go today. This might be where you feel safest, so please be aware of that in your own training. Otherwise, if you're like, Nick, that was fun, I'm ready for the challenge that you have for me today. Here's what's next. So, what was the difference there is once I got to this position in the Turkish get up, I continued into a hip bridge or glute bridge and got my hips off the ground. And then I performed my presses. So we're just adding in the hip bridge there on top of what we did in our warm up today. So with that being said, it is significantly more difficult and you have to be able to lock out your arms for a short period of time, all right? Today in the strength portion, we're gonna do 4 sets of 3 presses on the left, like I just showed. And then to complete my first set, I would do another 3 presses on the right, and then I would take a rest for 90 seconds to 2 minutes. Now, you have 4 sets today. Let's say, for example, maybe you have 2 lighter weights at home, and this is just too simple. Well, here's how you could upscale this today, okay? If I was to do a second set, and let's say all I had maybe was like a 10-pound dumbbell, I'm gonna add 1 rep to each side. So set 2, I'm gonna do 3 on the left, 3 on the right. Set 3, I'm gonna do, 4 on the left, 4 on the right. Set 3, I'm gonna do 5 on the left, 5 on the right. And the last set, I would do 6 on the left, 6 on the right. So building in volume as we go today. That could be a way to make this significantly more difficult over time. You won't need a lot of weight to make this difficult, especially if you're getting in a good glute bridge, bracing your core, squeezing your butt, and locking out that back arm to support you. This alone right here, just hold this a couple times before you actually get into this strength work today and practice with no weight. I can't stress that enough. Please make sure you're doing a couple warm-up rounds with 0 weight before you get started with this today, okay? Then if you have the option to gradually build in weight, I also recommend that. That's better than just going right to a heavy kettlebell or a heavy dumbbell, all right? So go ahead, give that a try. You could also do this with a slam ball today. It's just gonna take a lot more balance and you have to go a lot slower, which is just gonna make it more difficult. Again, please, 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 please revert back to just this seated position for your pressing as a starting point. Maybe you do your first set or 2 like that, and for your last sets 3 and 4, then you can add in that hip bridge. That'd be a great way to approach, one of many ways to approach today's strength work. If you have any questions, reach out to myself or any other coaches. We're here waiting to help you. So, go ahead friends, start your strength work today. Here we go. All right, welcome back from the strength portion today. I hope you had a lot of fun with those new pressing movements and tried out both of those and found success with one or the other. Let's go ahead, let's start our WOD, or workout of the day today. It's called Tabata Life. So all it's gonna be today is 4 Tabatas on 4 different movements. Tabata is 8 rounds of 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. We're gonna do 8 rounds of presses of your choice, lunges, planks, and crawls. Now the kicker here today is the score is gonna be your total distance crawled. Let's review each one briefly. On the presses today, I just picked push press. So I go and I switch from my left to my right. What you might do today is you might go 20 seconds on the left and then switch to 20 seconds on your right arm. I would recommend splitting up arms so you don't totally blow yourself up in the first 8 sets. But by all means, if you want to do that, go for it. If you have a barbell or just prefer to do a 2-handed pressing movement or have to, still gonna work just fine today. I do recommend on all these movements, I noticed that I did the presses, and now if you see the lunges popping up, I did the lunges with a weight. My goal for myself was to make this tough enough where I didn't do a million reps during each Tabata. I wanted to kind of stay under the 100 rep range, and that's what I recommend for all of you for all these movements today, specifically the presses and the lunges. It's okay if you end up getting into that range today, but I wouldn't want anybody to be well beyond that. So again, your goal is to set this up so it's challenging enough where you don't go over 100 presses total or over 100 lunges total today, okay? The reason being, it's just where we want to be considering everything else you've probably already done this week, potentially. So with that being said, the plank, any kind of plank will do today. You could go high plank, you could go traditional plank like I do on my elbows. If you've been working on your L-sits, you could do some L-sit practice as well for that time. That'd be pretty nasty. And then last but not least, the most important one, everything before this was distraction, is crawling. So in the video here, I walk out what I estimate to be about 10 feet, and I place a marker. And all I do in my video is I crawl from my wall to a dumbbell. I don't know if you can see the dumbbell placed on the floor, okay? At first I go down and back, and then I go front crawl down, backwards crawl back. It's totally cool to switch it up like that, but just keep crawling until the 20 seconds is up. Now today it'd be very beneficial to have some kind of timer or WOD clock that you can see, or even better if you could hear a beep every 20 seconds when you're done doing that work, and then set it up for the 10 seconds rest. If you look Tabata timer in the App Store or online or in Google or something like that, I'm sure you'll be able to easily find a timer. I'm sure if you ask to, somebody already probably has one that's easy to download or easy to look up on a web browser. So go ahead, you need to get a clock set up. You need to figure out what kind of presses, lunges, planks, crawls, your variations you're gonna do today, whether that's adding weight or different types of those. And again, like I said, for the presses and the lunges particularly, I would set it up so you don't end up getting too high a rep, but we still want to have a challenge today. You also shouldn't be doing like 10 reps of everything for an entire Tabata. So again, don't want to blow past 100 reps. We want to be right around or just under, in that 80 to 100 rep range probably for the lunges and for the presses today. Then the plank, just some wonderful abdominal work. And then last but not least, the crawl, just a little bit of body weight conditioning at the end when we're already fatigued that we have to focus on, and that's your score, is your total distance. So again, I said I measured out about a 10-foot distance for my crawl today, so I know every time I complete a crawl down and back, I did 20 feet. So I could add up, I'm gonna keep track of how many down and backs I do today, and then I'll add my final score in up at the end of the workout. So figure out a tally system or how you're gonna do that to keep track and to estimate to your best guess how far you went. Have some fun with this one today, folks. It should be just a feel-good Saturday workout. And again, as always, you can dial up that intensity as much as you need to or as little as you need to. Remember, something is always better than nothing. So maybe you just pick 2 or 3 of the Tabatas you want to do and call it good at that. It'd still be a wonderful day, especially if you did that strength portion along with it. Here we go, folks. Set up your workouts. Practice any reps that you need to make sure you have the proper variations, and let's go. Awesome work today, folks. Thank you so much for joining us on our Saturdays at home workout from Progression Fitness. We'll see you tomorrow, Sunday, for your at home workout of the day. Have a good day. Bye.